everyone, I'm Brittany and this is Lauren, and we're Two of Festival's nutrition experts, and I'm so excited to share with you today a really delicious recipe for apple pomegranate pistachio bread.
Yes, we are working with wonderful pistachios to bring you this diabetic holiday bread recipe that really the whole family is going to love, we're sure of it.
Absolutely, so let's get started.
Perfect, so like normally with quick breads, we're gonna start with our dry ingredients. So our first dry ingredient is whole wheat pastry flour.
Yes, I can take those dishes from you.
Perfect. So whole wheat pastry flour is a little unique in that it is 100% whole wheat, but it's the texture is a little bit better.
Yeah, it's finer, so it's better for baked goods.
Exactly, and you won't necessarily be able to tell that it's whole wheat, which is great. But we love whole wheat because it's got that fiber, it's got that protein, it's just a better for us option.
Right.
Next, we're adding kind of a unique ingredient. This is a sweetener, but it's a 100% natural sugar sweetener. So this comes from ground dates, so this is date sugar.
Yep.
And we love using date sugar because you can substitute in recipes. It's a 1-to-1 ratio for sugar. And again, it's that natural sugar that we're adding instead of added sugar.
Yes, so you can find this in our natural and organic department. Bob's Red Mill makes a great variety, which is what we're using today.
Yes. Oh, it smells so good too. It
does.
smells just like dates. Then we're going to add some baking soda, baking powder, a little bit of salt, and then lastly a little bit of cinnamon too.
Okay, so while you're mixing that, I'm going to get started on our wet ingredients.
Thank
you. From you. So these are a little bit unique too. So we've got 100% apple juice for some natural sweetness, canola oil, so a heart-healthy oil, low-fat buttermilk. Now you could definitely use regular milk, about 1 cup mixed with a tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar if you don't have buttermilk at home. And then you would just let that mixture set for about 10 minutes and you're ready to go. We've got 1 egg that's been lightly beaten and some vanilla. So I'm just going to whisk this together real quick and then I'll add it to our dry ingredients.
And what I've done here is I've created a well. So Brittany's going to pour in the wet part of our recipe right into the well.
Steal this from
Sure.
you. Right, like that. Okay, now we can start mixing this together and folding in some of our mix-ins. So first off, we have pomegranate arils, so fresh pomegranate arils. These are actually the little seeds you'd find inside a pomegranate.
Yeah.
You can also find them ready to go, packaged up in the produce department.
And we love adding this, especially to this recipe. Well, number one, pomegranates and pomegranate arils are so good for us, but they offer such a bright, festive color in this recipe.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
And we definitely eat with our eyes, so this mixed with the pistachios that we're going to add here in a minute just makes a perfect festive recipe.
And pomegranates are only in season for so long, so use them while you can, absolutely, in all these holiday recipes. Next we have a grated apple. So I didn't peel this apple, I just grated it using a cheese grater, the large grate side. It went super fast. You could definitely use a food processor if you prefer. The only type of apple I wouldn't recommend using for this recipe would be Red Delicious, just because they don't stand up to baking quite as well.
But this will be nice too. It'll add some sweetness, some natural sweetness from the apple, which we love, but also a little bit of moisture too. As you can see, as we added that in there, it's become a lot more moist. You could tell that apple was really juicy.
Yes, and it adds some fiber too, because we left the peel on.
Yes, perfect.
And finally, the star of our show today, pistachios.
Yes, so we are really excited to add pistachios to this recipe for a couple reasons. Pistachios are high in fiber, they're high in protein, they're high in heart-healthy fats, they're calorie controlled, and actually they're the lowest fat, lowest calorie nut, which is great for recipes, but it's also great for snacking, especially around the holidays. So as you can see over here, we do have the shelled variety, which we're using today, perfect for baking. You don't have to go through and take the shell off all of the pistachios. But if you are looking for a snack, maybe you're having a holiday party or having some people over, put a bowl of pistachios out in the shell. It's a great snack. It takes a little bit longer to get at that nut, so it slows down that snacking, prevents some of that mindless eating that's super easy to do, whether you're entertaining or just even around the holidays. And they come in lots of different flavors.
Yes, so we've got sweet chili, salt and black pepper, salted, unsalted, so there's something for everybody.
Yes, and these are found right in our produce department at Festival, and we have lots of different varieties, as Brittany mentioned. Lots of fun for the holidays.
Absolutely. So our batter is ready to go into the loaf pan. This is just a nonstick loaf pan, so I'm not going to spray it. If I had a regular loaf pan, I would spray it with some nonstick cooking spray.
And as you can see, the batter is pretty thick, but that's normal.
Yes.
Because we are using a whole grain flour, even though it is the pastry flour, it's going to be thicker than your typical white refined flour.
Right, and it makes a nice, dense, moist bread. Okay, so I smoothed out the top. Now this goes in the oven at 350 for 50 minutes. I'm going to turn it halfway through just to make sure it cooks evenly.
Perfect. And we have one that's already done up for us. So our next step is going to be making an optional glaze and then topping with some fun toppings too.
Right. So this glaze, like Lauren said, is optional, but we really recommend it because it adds a nice little touch of sweetness. So it's as simple as a little bit more of that apple juice, some powdered sugar, and some cinnamon. We're just going to whisk that up.
And what we've done with this bread, so we took this bread out of the oven, we let it cool completely, we took it out of the pan. Again, make sure it's completely cool, and then next we will be adding our glaze.
Yes.
And just a very small amount, just a touch of extra
a little
sweetness.
goes a long way. With that powdered sugar, you don't need very much.
And really this makes, a great dessert that you can feel good about eating because of all the great nutrients that we've packed into this bread. But it can also be a very nice, dressy brunch option.
Oh, yeah,
to set out on the table along with everything else if you're having a holiday brunch.
Absolutely. And finally, our nice, pretty holiday topping. We've got more of those pomegranate arils and some chopped pistachios.
Look how festive this is. I love it.
And I love the natural colors of the pistachios, how they're green and purple. That's actually the antioxidants in those pistachios.
Yes.
So another great reason to love those pistachios. Okay, I'm going to cut you off a slice of this bread.
Okay, I'm excited to try it.
Ooh, look at how beautiful that is on the inside.
Oh, it's actually very moist.
Yeah.
It's dense and it's dark, but it's super moist.
Yeah.
I got some pistachio in there.
Yeah, I heard the crunch. Well, we hope you give this diabetic-friendly recipe a try.
And from our festival family to yours, we wish you a happy and healthy holiday season.